Very good morning to all of you students. This is the second part of the chapter 9 quadrilaterals. Different shape of quadrilaterals. So here in this lecture we will discuss type of quadrilateral in details with their properties. So starts children. Here there are some figures are given. First is parallelogram, second is rhombus, third one is trapezium, next rectangle, next one is square, and the last is kite. So here we will discuss detail what are the properties of different quadrilateral. So first is parallelogram. Students, you can see here the diagram of parallelogram. In the parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. This is the first property, and they are also equal. Here the arrow sign shows that they are parallel. Next one is opposite sides are parallel and equal. Diagonals bisect each other in a parallelogram. You can see here there are two diagonals AC and BD which are bisect to each other. That means the half part of each diagonal will be equal because they are bisect to each other. Opposite angles are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. That means angle D will be equal to angle B. In the same way, angle C will be equal to angle A. They are the opposite angles. So these are the basic properties of parallelogram. Second quadrilateral is rectangle. A parallelogram in which each angle is a right angle is called a rectangle. It means that if we take a parallelogram whose each angle is 90 degree, then we can say that this parallelogram is known as rectangle. Clear? Okay students. Now you can see here in a parallelogram, in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. That means length will be equal to length and breadth will be equal to breadth. Each angle is 90 degree. So these are the basic properties. Now diagonals are equal and bisect to each other. In the rectangle also diagonals are equal and they also bisect. That means this part will be equal to this part and this part will be equal to this part. Clear? Now next one is rhombus. A parallelogram in which all sides are equal is called a rhombus. So if we take a parallelogram where all sides are equal, then such types of parallelogram is known as rhombus. Now students, you can see here in the case of a rhombus, diagonals are not equal. They are not equal, but they cut both at angle 90 degree. That means they bisect. Means this part will be equal to this part and this part will be equal to this part, and they all cut at a right angle. Now, opposite angles are equal in rhombus. That means angle A is equal to angle C and angle B is equal to angle D. Next one is square. A rectangle in which all sides are equal is called a square. So here ABCD is a square where all sides are equal, each angle is 90 degree, diagonals are equal, they bisect to each other at 90 degree. These are the basic property of square. In a square also opposite angles are equal. Next one is trapezium. In the case of trapezium, you can see here it's a quadrilateral where one pair is equal and rest one pair is not equal. So here you can see that this is parallel to this and this is not parallel to this. So it is the geometry which is known as trapezium. In the given trapezium, if one pair is parallel and the other pair is not parallel but they are equal, in this case we can say that such type of trapezium is known as isosceles trapezium. Means one pair of side is equal, and in this case angle P is equal to angle Q and angle R equals to angle S. That means their adjacent angles are equal. Next one is kite. It is a very familiar diagram, and I think you all know about a kite. In the case of kite, two adjacent sides are equal. That means in the figure, AD is equal to CD and AB is equal to AC. And the diagonals are at 90 degree, means both diagonals cut each other at 90 degree. Now students, on the basis of above quadrilaterals and their properties, you can easily solve the exercise 11.4, and this exercise is just depend on the properties and the basic concept of quadrilateral. So you have to solve this exercise and this is your homework. So questions are very simple and you can easily solve the questions of this exercise. For example, if you take question number 3, which type of trapezium has its diagonal are equal? So it is the solution is isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapeziums are those trapezium which have a diagonals equal. So they are very simple questions, you can easily solve these questions. Now the next topic is circle and its part. So first of all we will discuss what is circle. A circle is a shape which we see which we see very commonly in our daily life. A circle is a simple closed curve, all points of a plane which are at a constant distance from a fixed point form a circle, and this fixed point is called center, and the boundary of this circle is called its circumference, and the distance between the boundary and a fixed point is called its radius. See in the diagram, the fixed point O is called its center. Here P is a point which is lie on the boundary of a circle. This boundary is known as circumference, and the distance between the boundary and the fixed point O is called its radius. Radius is just half of its diameter. Diameter is the distance between any two points lie on the circumference. But there is a condition, this line should be passed from the center. Clear? Okay children. Now part of a circle. First is center. It is a fixed point from which a circle is drawn at equal distance. Radius. The distance between its boundary and center is called radius. Now next one is chord. What is chord? A chord is a line segment joining any two points on a circle. Here you can see that AB and CD are the lines which cut at 2 points on the circumference. So they are chord. Next one is diameter. If you draw a line which is passing from the center of a circle, then this line is known as chord. Sorry, diameter. And diameter is the longest chord in the circle. It is also a chord which is passing through the center. Now next one is arc. If we take a small portion on a boundary of a circle, then this small portion is known as arc. For example, in the diagram you can see that PQ is a small portion which is drawn on the circumference of a circle. This small portion is known as arc. Next one is circumference. The total boundary of a circle is known as its circumference. Clear? Now next one is semicircle. If we draw a circle with the help of a arc and a diameter, then the part of a circle is known as semicircle. It is just half of a complete circle. Next one is minor arc. We draw a small portion on the boundary of a circle, then this small portion is known as minor arc, and the rest portion of a boundary is known as major arc. Segment. Now the next one is segment. See student, there are two types of segments take place in the circle. If we cut a circle not two equal parts, then the smaller portion of a circle is known as minor arc, minor segments, and the rest portion of a circle is known as major segments. Sectors. We take a portion which make an angle theta on the center of a circle, then this small portion which is cut out from the circle is known as sector. Sector is also two types, minor sector and major sector. If we take a small portion which is covered by a small arc and make an angle on the center, then this small portion is known as minor arc. See children, exercise 11.5, and this exercise is just depend on the description about the circle, its part, circumference, diameter, minor arc, major arc, formula of perimeter, etc. So you can easily solve this exercise if you know the formula of basic definitions and basic concept of circle. For example, the question 1 is find the radius of a circle if the length of diameter is this. We know that radius is the half of its diameter. That means here diameter is given 12 centimeter, then its radius will be 6 centimeter because it is half of the diameter. Next question is find the diameter of a circle if the radius is 8 centimeter. So diameter is just 2 times of the radius. So multiplied by 2 and we get the diameter of a circle. Draw a circle with the center C, draw a chord AB and shade the major segments of a circle. So it is very simple. You can easily draw a circle of any radius and you can cut the minor arc. So student, this is your homework and you have to solve the questions of this exercise. In the last, there are some objective questions, and if you solve these questions, then your knowledge will be considered. If you have a quality to solve all the questions carefully and in the first time, and your answers are right, then it means that you have good knowledge of this chapter. So this is also your homework and you have to solve the questions of this exercise. Clear students? So this is your homework, and first of all you have to read this chapter again very carefully. After that you have to solve the examples of this exercise, and if you solve all the examples, then this is your homework. You have to solve the questions of this exercise very carefully. Okay, thank you very much.